So, after being waived earlier today by the Golden State Warriors, Chris Paul is headed to the San Antonio Spurs on an $11 million deal, 1 year deal. So, I think this is an incredible move for both Chris Paul and the Spurs. I think this is a great move for Chris Paul because I think when he got waived earlier today, like the first thought that kind of went through my mind was like, is he going to retire? Like, is this it? Because he's 39 years old. He's going into his 20th season in the NBA. And, we do have guys in the league like LeBron, but not everyone can be like LeBron and play super well all the way through their entire career, especially when they get to the very, very end stages where they're kind of bordering 40 years old. That's an incredibly tough feat to accomplish. But Chris Paul's been effective. I think last year he showed us that he really wasn't super effective, especially when he doesn't really have the ball in his hands. Like, I think he needs to be able to create. He's not like the best spot up shooter. So I just don't really think with the Warriors it was much of a good fit. I think this, though, with the Spurs is going to be great because I don't think they have a lot of veteran presence. So I think that's a great thing for one. They just drafted Stephon Castle at UConn. So to have a mentor like Chris Paul, who's this experienced, super good NBA player who's been multiple time All-Star, great defensive player, it's going to be really good for the entire Spurs organization, just to have him there to kind of tutor these young guys, and not just the guards. I think Wemby's going to learn a lot from Chris Paul too. So I also think this is, everybody was talking about, oh, the Spurs need to go out and get Trae Young, and pair him with Wemby. I honestly think this is a better move. I don't think they need to get Trae Young. I think having Chris Paul is honestly like just as good. Like, Chris Paul is probably not going to be the starter on the team, or maybe he will. I don't know, but I don't think I think Trae Young takes too many shots for it to really work with him and Wemby. Like, I think Wemby's going into his second year after like an incredible rookie year, and he really needs like to get more shots up, improve, play more minutes. So I think adding Trae Young to the mix and kind of it wouldn't take away from Wemby's rookie, year progress going into year two, but I think it would he's on a different trajectory, and I don't think putting him with Trae Young is the best move. But I think Chris Paul, who doesn't really need to take a lot of shots at this point in his career, this is a much better scenario for Chris Paul and Wemby. And I think Pop is going to love it too. I can't imagine Greg Popovich not liking having a point guard with this much experience and knowing the X's and O's like he does. It's just going to be a very interesting show to watch when next season starts. So, I'm happy for Chris Paul. Chris Paul is one of my favorite players. And last year was kind of, sad. Like, we didn't really see him do that much, and I feel like he didn't even play that much. He played a little bit over like 25 minutes a game, but it just wasn't what we really wanted to see. So I think the Spurs are going to make a big jump this year, honestly. I think they are going to contend for a play-in spot, which is a lot better than being the third worst team in the league. So, we'll see what Chris Paul does, but, I'm excited about this.